very unfortunate day for Gujarat as more than 145 people has lost their lives in Morbi bridge collapse. Today we are going to discuss about different aspects of this unfortunate incident, and we are going to start with what happened exactly and why. Yeah. Would you want to share a little brief about the whole incident that took place yesterday in Morbi?
Yesterday evening around 6:30 p.m. The new renovated
Bridge.
suspension cable bridge, also known as a footbridge and known as Jhulto Pul in Gujarati, in Morbi, collapsed. Since it was a Sunday and just the fifth day that the pool had been opened up for the public, there was a huge rush. And it is very unfortunate that the pool collapsed, and as of now we have reports of nearly 145 deaths,
56 kids,
which
teenagers.
includes 56 people who are under 18 years of age. And this is a real sad incident, a big tragedy that has befallen Gujarat. And Morbi, like, since both of us are from Saurashtra, right? It's really sad for us.
I mean, now there are a lot of questions on who is to be blamed for this unfortunate incident, or where were the loopholes, where did we go wrong and therefore we lost so many lives. Is it the government, or is it the private company Oreva, or is it the people? It's really, pointing at different aspects to just find out the answers for people and their families who are demanding an answer for this situation.
It is too early to go in for a closure for this tragedy, right? You say that should we blame the government, the Gujarat government, the Oreva company that backed the contract and was responsible for the management and operations of this bridge, which even Oreva renovated the bridge. I would say both, the government and the company. But I would not say the people. Like, how are people responsible? Yeah. There has been some irresponsible reporting, where old videos of people shaking the bridge, trying to dangle the bridge, or trying to, kick the bridge, even if we call it kicking. But then are bridges supposed to collapse? Are they some sort of fragile objects that they are supposed to collapse? So I would squarely, like Oreva, the company, which comes the house of Ajanta, the clockmakers of the country, they are known, right? The Uddhavji Patel group, and his son Jaisuk, who is right now heading the company. Oreva is a known name, and they are also into farmhouses, and they have got into construction. I have a few questions. Number one is, on what criteria was the Oreva company given this contract, renovation contract?
The company also gave the statement that they charge just 1 crore or 2 for renovating the whole bridge, which is very less as an amount. I mean, this is the official statement the company is giving after such an unfortunate incident.
I have no words. Number one, like, it's very disgusting. Secondly, my question is, this PPP model, the public-private partnership, how far are we going to take this? Why is the safety of common people at stake just because the government decides? What are the parameters?
Choosing them, maybe.
Yeah, of giving such a contract to Oreva company, right? There was no tendering process done because as per the rules, this is too small a project where expenses on tendering should be done. Number one. Number two, okay, even if we blame Oreva, it was the government agencies who chose Oreva. Now, last night itself, we had the Morbi municipality chief Sandeep Sijala. You know, he already has claimed that Oreva company did not obtain a fitness certificate
Before.
before it opened up the renovated bridge for the public. Now, Janvi, Oreva company renovated this bridge, right? The bridge was opened up for public from October 26th.
Yeah.
It was on the 5th day that this tragedy occurred.
And
then the Morbi municipality chief, and let me make it clear, Morbi municipality is ruled by BJP. They came on record saying that Oreva company had not sought a fitness certificate from them.
Still they opened up.
Right. So all the blame was squarely shifted to Oreva company.
Yeah. But what was the government doing?
If Oreva company had not obtained the fitness certificate, what stopped the Morbi municipality to take action against Oreva company? Today, you know, 2 people from Oreva company have been arrested.
Yeah.
7 are still remain detained. Why was no police complaint filed against Oreva company 4 or 5 days ago when they opened up the bridge without obtaining the so-called fitness certificate? I have no love lost for Oreva company. There has to be an impartial investigation whether, what are the loopholes, or if there have been any construction irregularities or, substandard material used. But like when you talk of PPP, first of all, I am against, giving out government or public infrastructure to private parties at such a large scale. This Gujarat model does not impress me.
True. But here, do you think that Gujarat government was also trying to safeguard Oreva company somewhere, because an FIR was registered, but it didn't mention Oreva company's name really out there? Yeah, today like 3 people were arrested in this matter, but still Jaishuk Patel and the whole family still undercovers in this matter. Do you think that it's sort of an organized thing that's taking place?
To be honest, my thinking does not matter. But I believe that in the early hours of the incident, there were efforts made to shelter the Oreva group. To dub this unfortunate incident as some sort of act of God or a natural disaster. Both of us know, and we have spoken to scores of people from Morbi, our friends and extended relatives, who have told us and who keep on telling us that this is a man-made disaster. It is not a natural calamity, right? The 2001 earthquake was a natural calamity. The 2022 Morbi bridge collapse is not a natural calamity, it is a man-made disaster.
True.
But in the early hours, there were efforts made to dub this as some sort of natural disaster. And efforts, as you rightly pointed out, were made, because in the FIR, no mention, like they just said that it was callousness on part of the agency that renovated the bridge or is responsible for the
project. They didn't
and running the or operational functions of the bridge, who are responsible. But Oreva group was not named. It was only after the gravity and the intensity of the tragedy sunk in that just a couple of minutes ago, after 4 p.m. and nearly 22 hours after the incident,
to finally name the company and
that the company has been named by the police, by the Gujarat government, and you say 3, but as far as I know, 2 people have been arrested and a few more are being interrogated and detained.
What do you think about the whole response of the government after this incident? I mean, yeah, there was like aid announced for the people, but then there was also another side where all political parties and its leader started coming to Morbi. There was some sort of tragedy tourism taking place in Morbi. How do you look at this situation where to some extent politicians are also trying to leverage this whole incident for political gains? Or do you think it's purely out of sympathy that they are doing so?
I would not deny the sympathy factor, but there are two aspects to this. One is the first response of the government.
Yeah.
I think Gujarat government was responsive enough and was quick enough.
Our Chief Minister was quick enough to.
Chief Minister reached the spot. Though I would not say that it was okay on part of other ministers who flew down. We would have rather appreciated if there were rescue teams which was
Few.
yeah, right, which
Instead of
could
the
have been
ministers.
airborne rather than
The
ministers taking the air route
Yeah.
to reach Morbi.
True.
This is one aspect, but on the whole, the primary response of Gujarat government was as expected, what is expected of any government.
Yeah.
So they did their job right, but that is after
The whole
a lot of
tragedy
water and
taking place.
after the incident took place.
True.
Number one. Second is tragedy tourism. It has already begun.
Yeah.
We have politicians of different parties, of different hues already reaching and who have already reached to Morbi.
True.
And opposition members also. Politicians from opposition parties, politicians from ruling parties.
Everyone. Yeah.
There are hundreds of people injured in this tragedy.
Yeah. Some are still untraceable.
Some are still untraceable, missing.
Yeah.
At this unfortunate hour, to ensure that instead of people indulging in or officials responsible for indulging or for doing rescue operations, they have to be busy with bandobast for VIP visits. I think nothing could be more unfortunate. So tragedy tourism is absolutely unwanted.
And I think we saw this even in Gujarat Hooch tragedy. It was a similar pattern where everyone just flew down, especially politicians.
See, yes, you're right, Gujarat Hooch tragedy. But let me put my two bits, in this. Gujarat Hooch tragedy was about people consuming illicit liquor in a state where alcohol is prohibited. So, at some level, even those people were responsible, right? Even if at a minuscule level. But what is the fault of these people, all these innocent citizens, the 56 kids or the 56 teenagers, all 56 people under 18 years of age, and their families and their guardians and their parents who just went to the bridge to have a good time, right, for a Sunday stroll. So these are absolutely innocent people. And now to do politics on their dead bodies, whichever party it is absolutely disgusting.
And what's about Morbi and tragedies? I mean, Morbi as a land has gone through a lot. Like, what do you have to say about its history and all that people in Morbi have suffered and survived?
As I said before, both of us are from Saurashtra. So, and there have been a couple of Gujarati movies made. Machu Taraveta Pani, right? Machu as a river has been often described as a cursed river in the folklore. But to just transfer a folklore or to transfer the blame on destiny or nature would be wrong. We don't intend to do that. But yes, Morbi and calamities seem to, and especially Machu. Right, in 1979, the Machu Dam collapsed. It was August 11 in 1979. You were not even born. I was a child, and the Machu Dam collapsed. I remember as a kid below 10 years of age, where and there was no television at all, but news had spread, and there was like entire Gujarat was drowned in this tragedy. We lost over 1400 lives. There was an epidemic after this that broke out in Morbi. And even that time it was Machu, the river. This time it's the bridge over the Machu river, right, which collapsed. We have 145 deaths. In 2001, there was the Gujarat earthquake, and Morbi was heavily affected. We lost hundreds of lives. So, as per the folklore goes, every 21 years, if you see 1979, then 21 years was 2001,
And now again.
and now 2022. So every 21 years,
There's something unfortunately.
there's a natural disaster that takes place of a mammoth scale. There are disasters, but of a mammoth scale that grips Morbi. And in the past, Morbi has been a very rich place. Right? Even right now, it is a hub of ceramic industry in India. It's a hub of clock manufacturing. It's a hub for tiles manufacturing. In the past, it has been one of the richest princely states of India. So when this suspension cable bridge, the one that has collapsed, was built in 1877, it was considered to be a marvel. It is very sad that the bridge which was constructed in 1877, of course it was in a very depleted state, even 3 years back. But it did not collapse. It collapses now just 5 days after it is left open after a renovation. Now if we talk about investigation, there are 3 points. Number 1 is the parameters on which Oreva Group was given this renovation contract. Number 2, there is a buzz that Oreva Group was awarded this contract after political intervention. Who recommended that this contract be awarded to Oreva Group and why?
What a waste of interest.
Right? Number 3, and an equally important point in this tragedy, is to investigate, this fitness certificate.
And why were they allowed?
Right. Now, if fitness certificate had not been obtained, who allowed and why was no action taken against Oreva Group? Why was the police complaint not filed?
True.
Why was no action taken
Who was trying to
against the
shelter
group?
Oreva company?
Right?
So
Why
what
now?
are the reasons? Totally.
This is not to, Oreva Group is definitely responsible for tragedy, but Oreva Group alone is not responsible.
That's where we can go. Totally.
Right.
Definitely other people.
Also, I was looking at the papers and the agreements made between Morbi Nagarpalika and Oreva Group. Right? Oreva Group got this contract for the management of this pool in 2005.
Okay.
The agreement ended in 2015, and then a decision was taken to renew this agreement. So they got a renewal. Secondly, the Oreva Group said that the pool is in a very depleted state and they should go in for a renovation. They agreed to get the pool renovated, provided they are allowed to issue a ticketing policy. There were no tickets earlier to visit or to be on this bridge. But it is just now, 5 days back, from 26th October 2022, the tickets were allowed for entry. So it's not that these innocent people, they just walked on the bridge. They paid and they purchased their death. They purchased tickets to walk on the bridge. So, and also if we see the agreement says that this agreement was signed in January 20, and it says that the tickets for kids below 12 years would be rupees 7,
Yeah, but they.
right? And for adults it would be rupees 10, and for students it would be rupees 2.
Yeah.
Now we have the ticket
Photographs.
photographs,
Yeah,
the
pictures.
ticket coupons. The ticket charge was rupees 17.
17, yeah.
If an agreement was made and
How did
Oriva did not heed to it,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
5 days. What was being done?
Yeah. Definitely.
Of course, now we never know. There could be some retrospective or backdated letters or even
Yeah.
investigations or
True.
so-called instructions that can
Yeah.
crop up. But we have spoken to locals there, including officials, who say that nothing was done.
Done. Totally. There are a lot of people at fault, and at this point, I think all we can do is pray for the people of Morbi and their well-being. So yes, that was it for today's discussion. To keep updated in this issue and to know more, keep watching Vibes of India.